Hi there everyone, my name's EarthToLydia, welcome back to another Dead by Daylight news video. Today we're going over some of the Chapter 18 changes that have already been confirmed. So we've got changes to the twins, we've got changes to some perks, and overall there's just a little bit of a hotfix as well. If you do like videos like these, please let me know in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe for future updates like this. But in the meantime, let's get into it. So, they have prefaced this by saying that some of the changes are tentative and the release might be a little bit different, but for now, the change to the twins is that they've made the map-wide sound when Victor is released clearer, so you're able to hear when Victor detaches from Charlotte a little bit better now. After being attached to a survivor for 45 seconds, Charlotte will see Victor's aura and be able to recall him, so sometimes a survivor would keep Victor on their back to prevent the killer from using their power. This way, there's a great risk to doing so, and the killer has the ability to forcibly regain their power after some time. Because I don't know how many people saw this on the PTB, but you are able to just take Victor if you're a survivor, and if you don't try to squash him, then you can just run around with him on your back. And that essentially renders the twins an M1 killer, as Charlotte doesn't really have any other ability. They've also replaced the spinning top add-on effect, so now this add-on will cause survivors to drop their items when pounced on by Victor, kind of like Begrimed Chain for Bubba. They've also increased Victor's movement speed while charging a pounce and increased the amount of time that it takes to reach this movement speed. Due to the slow movement speed while pouncing, hitting a survivor with Victor while they're around a small enough loop or object could be very difficult. These two changes will cause you to lose less distance while charging your pounce and making it easier to use in those situations. As for the twins' perks, Coup de Grace is getting a change. They're reducing the lunge speed from a maximum of 100% down to 60%. Now, I'm not sure how many people saw this, but if you use this perk on the likes of Myers, for example, who already has an increased lunge, then you'd get extra distance with that. This also applies to the Pig's Ambush and Demogorgon's Lunge, so you can get really, really long distance when you're using this perk on those killers. So they've reduced that to a maximum of 60%, which honestly I think is a fair change. And as they say here, the values for Coup de Grace on the PTB were higher than anticipated and will be reducing them to a more reasonable level. Also in this hotfix for the twins, Victor will be able to interact with lockers and hold a survivor inside for a short amount of time. If Charlotte interacts with the locker in this time, then she will grab the survivor. If the survivor is not grabbed out of the locker in time, they will break free, killing Victor in the process. So during the PTB, survivors realized that they could jump in a locker to completely avoid Victor, and then he'd be unable to do anything about it. This way, he can't grab survivors out of lockers, but it is a pretty fair change, so he can hold them inside the locker, hold the locker shut, and then Charlotte should be able to interact with that locker if she's close enough. They have also included that this will take some animation work, however, so this will not be ready for the initial release. So it looks like this might have been a bit of an oversight for the PTB, but as a result of the PTB, it's going to be changing, and instead it's going to be added in a future update. Also, they are adding a delay to the exit gate blocker when a survivor is downed with Victor on their back. Currently, the exit gate blocker disappears immediately if a survivor with Victor on their back is downed. This allows them to crawl out before Charlotte can finish wiping her weapon. This delay ensures that the survivor can be picked up before the blocker disappears. So I think this is a pretty nice quality of life change. We'll see how it is when it actually gets put in, but again, this is going to be in a future update as well. Also, for perks in future updates and hotfixes, appraisal is being changed. So the speed bonus no longer applies to unlocking a chest, it is just rummaging now. So this doesn't render pharmacy completely useless. You can use pharmacy to unlock the chest pretty quickly and then use appraisal to rummage faster. Also, each chest can only be rummaged once per survivor. So that's not to say that other teammates can't come along and rummage that chest as well. It just means that you will have to go and search for another chest and rummage that one instead of just piling up all of your items. And as it says here, this change prevents someone from rummaging the same chest multiple times, creating a large pile of items. We want to encourage people to move around the map and rummage different chests. The overall number of times that you can rummage is unchanged. And as a footer, they've put, again, we want to reiterate that these changes are tentative. The exact details and times for these changes may vary from the list above. We hope that these changes address any concerns that you've had, and we can't wait for you to get your hands on Chapter 18. I think a lot of these changes are very fair. I'm already seeing quite a bit of backlash from people saying that appraisal is going to be dead now, but honestly, I think the way that a lot of the perks are going, you will need to combine them with other perks anyway. I don't think we've gotten any perks in a long while, and I'm kind of glad that we haven't got any perks that have have completely shifted the meta because they can just be used on their own and they are strong enough on their own, and then if you pair them with other things they get too strong. And I feel like Appraisal did have the potential to be quite oppressive, particularly if you've got everybody running Appraisal on top of a standard looting build. So for example, normally in my looting build I would run Pharmacy with Plunderer's Instinct and Ace in the Hole, and if you put Appraisal on the top of that, you're getting a shed load of items every single game, all with good add-ons on, all at a decent rarity, and very quickly as well. And if all 4 survivors are using stuff like that, then it's just going to be ridiculous for the killer. So I'm actually pretty happy with the changes to Appraisal. I think the other changes to Victor as well and Charlotte are going to be quite welcome. I do like to hold off on giving my complete opinions until we see it in live and try it out a bit, because a lot of the time you can see that things on paper sound really great, and then when they actually come into the live build, they're not what you quite expected. So I'm not going to say that these are perfect quality of life changes. We'll just have to see. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. As always, my social medias are linked in the description, including the link to my Discord server where we actually discuss a lot of different things like this. Until next time, thank you so much for making it this far in, and I have been EarthToLydia. Take care, guys.